Good evening, friends. This is Karan Kakkad from Reverse Factor, where we help people reverse lifestyle diseases with the help of right food. We have been discussing a lot about how food is the game changer in terms of lifestyle diseases, and we all know that lifestyle diseases have become an epidemic. Every other household, someone is suffering from high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fatty liver, and a lot of lifestyle diseases which should not even exist in the first place, right? So, how do we address these lifestyle diseases, and how food can be a game changer if we change our habits and our mindset? So today we will be speaking about gastric and constipation and how can we get rid of this permanently, right? Now, what we observe is that people who come to us are mostly suffering from lifestyle diseases, okay? And 70 to 80% people who have many lifestyle diseases also suffer from constipation or gastric or both. 70 to 80% people who come to us have either gastric issues or constipation or both. But the problem is that the problem is not that they have constipation or gastric issues, but the problem is that they have accepted it as a part of their life. They've accepted this as a part of their being. What I mean by that is when people come to us and when we ask them that you have fatty liver, you have high blood pressure, you have high sugar, anything else that is a trouble, so they are like, these are our main issues. And when we ask them, many people, when we ask them, do you have any gastric issue, acidity issues? Then they tell us that, oh yes, gastric ko hamara salo se hi hai, as if they have accepted it and they are living with the fact that gastric and constipation to humko hone hi wala hai, right? That is a very big problem, okay? So I think that is a bigger problem than having gastric and constipation issue, is that you start believing that this is something which has to be a part of my life, and it has been a part of my life since last 15-20 years, and this is something that I need to live with for the rest of my life. When you have such a mindset, that becomes a very big problem, right? Even a bigger problem than of the fact that you have gastric and constipation issues. So let's understand what are the root causes of gastric and constipation issues and how can we reverse it permanently, get rid of that permanently so that we don't have to suffer unnecessarily. I keep telling this to a lot of people I meet that if your bowel movement is good, okay, if you don't have gastric acidity issues, and if you get good sleep, once we have these three things in place, good sleep, gastric acidity is not there, and our bowel movement is fine, we are mentally 50-60% at peace, right? And compared to that, if we have sleep issues, if we have bowel movement issues and we're constantly constipated, or we have high gastric acidity issues, that gives us a lot of trouble, that decreases our productivity, that doesn't let us live the life that we want to, okay? It really hampers the quality of life. As simple as gastric and constipation, which should not even exist in the first place, if not treated and removed permanently, can give us a lot of uneasiness, right? So let's understand what are the root causes of gastric and constipation and how, by changing our habits, mindset and food, within weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks maximum, we can actually get rid of both of that permanently, right? So first is gastric issue. What are the root causes? So in terms of gastric issue, we need to understand what is it that we need to avoid and what is it that we need to intake, which can help us in gastric issue. So things that can trigger gastric issue, number one is, dairy products, which are very, very high on acidic issues. So dairy is highly acidic, so we should avoid dairy. And second is maida, okay, so bread, biscuits and all that. Now once a while, everything is okay. If you have guests at your home and you want to have a cup of tea with them, no problem. But every day having that milk tea or having dairy intake will trigger more and more gastric issues, okay? So we need to avoid milk and dairy. The second common cause of gastric could be indigestion, or when we have heavy food. So we go out, we eat heavy foods, we don't feel nice, there are a lot of indigestion issues. So how, if we can take care of both of these and add a lot of things in our food, how can we get rid of our gastric issue permanently, right? So number one thing that you need to switch your milk tea with is something called Jeera Water. Okay, now Jeera Water is as simple as to be made is whenever you make milk tea, or for that matter whenever you make your liquor tea, you put 1 spoon of your tea, right, liquor tea, but instead of that you put 1 spoon of jeera, which is cumin seeds. 1 spoon jeera, you just put it and boil that water. So 1 glass of water, keep it for boiling, add 1 spoon jeera and let it boil for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then you just strain that water and you have that water. So jeera water is an excellent detox drink. It is excellent for hormonal balance, so good, it will help you in losing weight also. It is also a more of a detox water in terms of cleaning your system, so your gastric acidity issues, acid reflux issues can be really addressed if you take jeera. You can add things like cinnamon, tulsi, pudina in that, but jeera is the base. Cumin seeds, you can add tulsi, pudina, mint, whatever you want to, but having that water first thing in the morning, and maybe 2 to 3 times more whenever you want to have tea, you just put jeera and have that water, right? So jeera water is excellent in terms of cleaning the system. That is point number 1. Equally important is to avoid what we need to, things like dairy and maida on a daily basis. Once in a while it is okay, but important is to avoid that, and also add things like jeera water. Okay, also what you can do is after your meals, which is lunch and dinner, post your meals, you can just chew ajwain, okay, or elaichi for say 5 to 10 minutes. So just chew elaichi for 5-10 minutes, and it will really help in your indigestion. It helps with bloating, gastric issues, which people tend to have after their meals. So immediately after lunch and your dinner, you should have one elaichi, chew it for 5 to 10 minutes, and that will really help you in digestion and as well as bloating issues as well. So these 2 things you can do, which will really help you a long way in terms of gastric issues. Speaking about constipation, one of the main reason why people are constipated is because, which is, when I say constipation, it means lack of bowel movement, not proper bowel movement, and one of the main reason is lack of fiber. So when I say lack of fiber, which means, so where is fiber found? Fiber is found in plant foods, which is more of fruits and vegetables. So you should have seasonal fruits, seasonal vegetables can really help you in terms of gaining a lot of fiber. Okay, now where do you find your fiber? In fruits and vegetables. So that is what you need to intake more. Now because of lack of fiber, because people don't eat enough variety of seasonal fruits and vegetables, they are constipated. Now what is the best solution? To increase your intake of plant foods, which is more fruits and more vegetables. So once you increase your intake of fiber, bowel movement is nothing but a natural outcome. So we have something called gut, which is trillions of bacteria in our gut, in the intestine, right? What does the good bacteria eat? The food for good bacteria is fiber. So a lot of plant foods is what we need to consume. Seasonal fruits, seasonal vegetables, it can really help us in terms of our constipation and bowel movement, right? 4-5 things which can really help you very well. So 3 fruits is papaya, which is ripe papaya. Number 2 is guava, right? So the seeds of guava can really help you in your bowel movement, okay? And number 3 is banana. So these 3 fruits, banana, guava and papaya, are excellent fruits in terms of bowel movement. In terms of dry fruits, there's something called figs or anjeer. Anjeer is excellent to get rid of your constipation issues. So 3, 4, 5 anjeers in a day can really help you in a long way. So apart from constipation, anjeer is also very, very good in terms of amount of calcium it has. So very good source of calcium. And also dried prunes are excellent for people who are constipated. Okay. Apart from these 5 things, what you can also add, which can give you very quick result, is something called raw papaya soup. So there's something called kacha papita. So you just boil that and you make a soup out of that. You don't add anything, you don't add tomato, you don't add anything. Just have a bowl of raw papaya soup, and this can really help you in terms of good bowel movement. Okay, you need to remember something. Health and disease is a sum total of lot of things. Okay, it is not that once you have a milk tea you become constipated. What is important is what you do on a complete 24 hours, which is important. Okay, so are you eating a lot of fiber? Are you taking stress? Are you not taking stress? Because our mind and our gut is very, very connected. So people who take a lot of stress are also constipated quite a lot, right? So are you eating fruits? Are you eating your seasonal vegetables? Are you taking stress? Are you walking, not walking? Are you thinking positive, negative thinking? So our health is dependent on all of these. And once we correct our habits and our actions and our mindset, health is a natural outcome. The reason why I really want all of you to emphasize on this is because it is not a good idea to live with gastric and constipation issues. We get every week 15 to 18 patients who have cancer issues, different kind of cancer issues, and 95% people who come to us on a weekly basis who have cancer, one thing that is common is they have a very, very high history or a very, very strong history of being constipated. We cannot let disease grow in our stomach. So when we are constipated or when we have gastric issues, which means that your system, your gut is not clean. And when it is not clean, you are feeding a lot of bad bacteria, which means you are feeding a lot of disease in your stomach. A good bowel movement and not having gastric issues are one of the strong pillars of good health. Friends, understand this. You should not and never live with being constipated or gastric acidity issue. But the problem is that most people who come to us and who have these issues, they are okay with it. They have accepted it as a part of their life, which is not okay. So we need to take a target, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but we need to ensure that if we have constipation or gastric issues, we can do a lot of good things. We can add a lot of fiber, we can avoid dairy, we can avoid maida, we can add Jeera Water, a lot of fruits, a lot of seasonal vegetables. But we need to ensure that it has to be removed permanently. Once you ensure that, I'm telling you, everything will fall in place and the universe will help you in order to achieve your goals. But you need to have that mindset that you want to do this, okay? There might be 5 ways, 6 ways we can achieve our target. But having that mindset that you want to remove that from your life is very, very important, right? So I wish all of you a very happy festive season, but understand something, your health is your real wealth, and ensure that no matter what, within next 15-20 days, you should be able to remove your gastric and constipation issues if you have, and you should feel lighter and you should feel better, okay? Thank you so much. Have a good day. Remember, food is not like medicine. It is our best medicine. Thank you so much. Signing off, Karan Kakkad from Reverse Factor.